I'm not frozen. Hello and welcome to another full court press podcast. A college
College
basketball.
basketball experience. Yeah, baby.
Yes. Yes. So we had a pretty good interview coming up, one of the hottest names in the coaching circles. And it seems like he even debunked a rumor about the DePaul job. But then I totally forgot about the West Virginia position that's potentially going to be open because they have an interim head coach.
Yeah, man, there's going to be a lot of positions opening up, and you can say he's one of the hottest coaches in the country. I mean, he's been one of the hottest for some time, and but it's yeah, what he's done over at McNeese State this year, it's pretty impressive. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And you call them the Pokes.
yeah, the Pokes, but the Cowboys, a lot of cowboy mascots call themselves the Pokes, so it's all good,
I
man.
didn't realize that.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, we're
What
talking
else
about
call
Will
just
Wade,
wait,
man.
just time out, time out.
We gotta give
Who
some props. We gotta give a little intro here.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still, so we were on a podcast called DePod, and he reached out, connected with us, and
Hmm.
great dude, DePaul graduate and the former mascot Dibs.
Yeah.
Um, and really good podcast. And he wanted to talk about the coaching search. I'm still kind of wrapped up about the whole $10 bet you made.
Hey,
Like
I guess
not
you'll have,
five, not 100, not 20, $10.
yeah, I would bet $10 on the pick I made.
Yeah. And who do we pick for the DePaul coaching search?
So the question we got asked was, who do we think is going to end up being the coach?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Not our preference or things like that. We did talk about that, but the final question was, who do we think is actually going to end up being the coach? And it was consensus that Bobby Hurley would make the most sense for someone who would be presented an offer as well as someone who would accept it.
Do you think his brother would take the job, Danny?
I don't that's a stretch.
What about Donnie Hurley?
That would be amazing. That'd be
What
great.
about Donnie Wahlberg? You could have New Kids
There
on
you
the
go.
Block perform every night.
Oh God. All right, all right. It's getting
But
late
let's
over there
okay,
in
so let's
Akron.
talk about McNeese State. Who is the greatest basketball player ever to come from out of McNeese State?
Joe D, baby, Joe
Yeah,
Dumars.
Joe Dumars.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about him in the whole podcast.
No, we did. We talked to. I mean, there was, I of course know Will Wade, from his years at VCU and Chattanooga, and then the success he had at LSU, all before McNeese State. But like I did the normal research that I do, and I was like, man, this guy. I had like 5 or 6 more questions I wanted to ask him, but we just kind of ran out of time and whatnot. And he was
Yeah.
incredibly generous with his time, and he had a good time. So,
So he
um,
he stumbled on what song? And you know what I thought about? All
what's
we
up?
do is win, win, win is what we got. Because
That's
that's
a good
all he
song for him,
does.
man.
That's
Yeah.
all he does.
No, he's a winner, and I on it like if I had to pick like who's gonna be the best coach in the next like 20 years, like he'd be at the top of my list. Like
Seriously.
he is just, I mean, he has embraced what has become a players' league, right?
Yes.
Like with the
He's a
transfer portal, NIL,
trailblazer.
you called him a trailblazer. It's all good, but it's like he's 41 years old, right? Like he's embraced this whole like next generation of where the best players want to play, and like there's no doubt in my mind that he's all the top guys in the transfer portal will want to they'll take his call, like they will want to play for him. And I think that he's a coach where you hear these legendary stories of recruiters and you know people of that nature, and he's going to go down as like one of the best recruiters in the transfer portal. I do believe that. You hear the story from Shahada Wells, right? Where it was like, you could just tell like he wanted me. Like he was the one calling me he was sending me just stuff about basketball.
But
Got
what did you say about games though? On game day, you said he like buys hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah, man, I was reading articles where I was like, yeah, it's like an hour before the game, like all the doors open up and like he's up in the concession stand, like eating hot dogs and like hanging out with all the fans and like encouraging his players to get involved and like meet the kids who are coming. Like, I love that stuff,
How
man.
how many hot dogs do you think he'd let me eat?
Before he was like, man, I gotta go.
Be like, yeah, tip off's pretty soon. You can only have one more hot dog. I mean, we should pay Joey
Joey Chestnut
Chestnut's plane ticket to go
to
and tell, hey,
go
Coach
to
Wade,
Lake
we got a
Charles.
family member. Yeah, we got a family member that
That's
wants,
funny.
if can you buy him some hot dogs?
Yeah, no, I mean it's in end of the day, I'm a Will Wade fan. Like
Yeah.
I just think he's the future of what college basketball coaching is going to be, and the people in Lake Charles and McNeese State, and um, I hope they realize just how fortunate they are to have a guy like that there, who
Mhm.
has just completely like we haven't even talked about like I mean he has flipped the program around in 12 months. I mean
Less than that.
yeah, I mean they had 23 they had 23 losses last year, right?
And they already have
He
23 wins.
yeah, he gets in. They make the announcement that they've hired him on March 12th last year. March 13th, they do the press conference. He rolls up to the press conference and says, we had program at 23 losses this year. Next year, we're going to have 23 wins. I promise you that.
Yeah, do you hear what he said about his SID, Matt? He
Yeah.
was awesome.
Well, for sure.
I think
Yeah.
Matthew's like, are you sure about that?
And it's like yeah, you have great coaches who go to a different program every once in a while and they make bold statements like that and you're like, all right, come on, man. And he's backed it up, man. They had their 23rd win like in the past week here. And
Yeah.
I mean they're going to finish the season, 26, 27, 28 wins. Like that's it's just unreal what he's been able to do there.
And they're going to have potentially two less conference teams.
Yep. Yeah.
Did you see that brawl tonight?
Man, that was
Immaculate Word and Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
no, it's Texas A&M Community College.
Uh, no, Commerce.
Commerce, yeah.
Texas A&M Commerce.
Mm.
Same thing. No, not community. Yeah,
So it's,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, we've seen a couple good brawls this year in college basketball.
Yeah, women's too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, what's going on with McNeese State? What's going on with Will Wade? I mean, timing is everything, right? And then you look at the roster that Will Wade has put together, with like Antavion Colum from, Colorado State Bakersfield, played for Ole Miss as well. Mike
California. Yep.
Saunders from
Yep.
Utah and Cincinnati, CJ Felder from Florida and Boston College. I mean, these guys, then you have Shahada Wells, who we have on the podcast as well,
TCU. Yep.
like played at TCU. I mean, these guys are all like mature, like junior seniors, played in Power Five, Power Six conference, basketball. And it seems like when you watch them, they have a chip on their shoulder, right?
And they
Like
play fast. They're one
they
of the
are.
top
I love
top
it.
10 field goal
You want to
percentage.
watch good college basketball, like watch this team play.
Yep. Yep.
Because they're playing hard, they're incredibly athletic, they're incredibly mature. And it just seems like they know the right play
Mm-hmm.
to make. And it's just second nature to them. And I think that comes with a lot of the maturity and things like that,
Yep.
but it's buying into Will Wade's program.
Yep.
And shout out to McNeese State AD Heath Schreier, like former basketball coach at a couple different programs, including McNeese State. You can tell like the way Coach Wade talks about AD Schreier, like they've got a pretty close bond, And I
Yeah.
think having that like basketball centric AD was probably one of the reasons Will Wade chose this position, right? And then they gave him a contract extension, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And they will do and they should do everything in their power to keep him there because
Yeah.
I mean he is just
Well,
he's
let
one
me
of the best
yeah.
coaches in the entire
Yeah.
country, and he
Yeah.
eventually I do think he will be the best coach in the country.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's listen to Shahada Wells and Coach Wade of McNeese State on the Full Court Press Podcast, a college basketball experience.
Let's get it.
Sam, we got one of the hottest coaches and one of the hottest teams in NCAA Division I men's basketball. Coach Will Wade McNeese State, University Cowboys. Welcome to the Full Court Press Podcast.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Say one of the hottest coaches and one of the hot. I mean, it's tough to put anybody above Coach Wade or McNeese State right now, like with what they're doing and putting a national spotlight on that program, which is well deserved. And I think everyone was the announcement was made March 12th last year, I believe, that Coach Wade was going to take over the program, and everyone was just kind of waiting to see what that was going to look like. And man, it's been incredibly impressive with what you've done to that program so far this year, Coach.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, look, when we took over, there's a lot of good players that came with us, so that helps. I mean, the number one ingredient of turning around any program is you better have good players, and we've got really, really good players. We've had tremendous support from our athletic director, from our president, just from everybody in this community. Community where we are in Lake Charles has been through so much. We got hit with back-to-back hurricanes, Category 4 and Category 5, both within like 6 weeks of each other. I mean, that was 3 years ago, but there's still tarps on roofs here because we're just a little bit of a rural area, and they don't react quite as quickly in rural areas as they do when disasters hit metropolitan areas. So, it's been kind of rejuvenating for the town, rejuvenating for the area. We've been able to sell out every weekend home game at our arena here. It seats about 4,500 people, and we've sold out every weekend home game in our league so far. And so it's just been neat. It's been neat to see the community rally around our players, see our players rally around the community, really bring everybody together. That's what college basketball is about. That's what college sports is about at its best. And that's what we've been able to do, and it's been quite a bit of fun.
So you've turned around a program that was 11-23. I mean, Christian Shoemate, who's one of your top scorers and top players, he had 30 in the conference semifinals last year. You're right now 23-3, 12-1. Unfortunately, lost to Southeast 70-74. And I love on Twitter and all the social media, when you lose a game, like the world's going to end. I think a lot of people don't understand it's a whole season. So when you were at LSU or VC or even Chattanooga or even at Clemson, what did you really know about McNeese State?
Well, I knew quite a bit when I was at LSU. It was right down the road, and we came over here. I came over here frequently to meet with donors and actually spoke at their. So the athletic director here, Heath Schroyer, was the basketball coach. When the hurricanes hit, they were looking for an athletic director. He did both. They asked him to be the interim AD and basketball coach, and he did both for a year, and then he slid over and took on the full-time AD job and got out of the coaching part. But anyway, when he was the coach, I was the head coach at LSU. We're good friends. He was the head coach at Tennessee Martin when I was the head coach at Tennessee Chattanooga, and we became very friendly there. Had some mutual friends. I actually tried to hire him a couple times when I was the head coach at VCU, and then when I was at LSU, and so we came over here. I came over here and actually spoke at their tip-off banquet one year for Coach Schroyer, and then I followed the program from afar. And then when the opportunity presented itself, there were some other options, but I just felt most comfortable in Louisiana. I felt most comfortable with Coach Schroyer. I thought this would be a really good fit, and I thought this was somewhere that we could make an impact. I wanted to make an impact wherever we go, and I wanted to go somewhere where we could really impact, just more than the basketball team and basketball program. I wanted to impact the university and the community. And our enrollment's been declining since the storms because of our infrastructure, but we're starting to build that back up. We're stabilizing our enrollment, and hopefully now we can start to grow enrollment, with help from our basketball program.
Yeah. So last year in your introductory press conference with AD Schroyer, you made a pretty bold prediction that, you guys lost 23 games last year. And you said 2023, 2024, we're going to flip the script. We're going to win 23 games. And this last win got you to that 23 mark. So first of all, congratulations. Like that is.
Sam, are you saying he's done? He doesn't need to win anymore?
No, but we get the chance to watch a lot of press conferences and things like that, and there's always bold statements being made. Rarely do they back them up 100%. And, everything that you said during that press conference, Coach, and everything that, Heath Schroyer committed to with supporting you and, the accolades that you bring to the program. I mean, it's like you guys wrote the book last year and now you're just living it out.
Well,
So yeah, I mean, it was a
I,
pretty
I
bold
think some of
statement.
our
So I wanted
fans
to see,
thought,
like, I mean, are you getting the recognition for that statement now that you have those 23 wins?
I don't know. I don't worry about that. I say some wild stuff all the time, so I don't worry about that. But I felt like we could do it. I felt like we could certainly do it, and I think everybody thought I was crazy. My SID came up to me afterwards. He said after we won 23 at Nichols, and he said Matt Bonnet, and he's a great guy,
Yep.
and he said, Coach, he said, I'm not going to lie. When you said that in the press conference, I wanted to walk up there and tap you on the shoulder and say, do you know where you are? But I think now everybody be disappointed if we just stopped at 23, as you were saying. So we've got to keep it moving forward. We got 5 regular season games left and a conference tournament game and hopefully maybe one more conference tournament game after that. But I think that I thought there was a lot of potential here. We've got great facilities. We've got great infrastructure. We got great support. We just needed somebody to kind of tie it all together and bring it all together and make it all happen. And fortunately, I was the conduit that could make all of it work. But it was a team effort with my AD, Heath Schroyer, with Dr. Burkell, our president, with Dr. Wade Roos, the president of our foundation. I mean, there's a bunch of folks. There's a whole army of folks behind the scenes that make all this happen. It's not just me. But very, very appreciative of those guys, and we've been able to tie it together and have a really, really solid season, really, really good season. It's the most wins that McNeese has ever had in their Division I era. We were the NAIA national champions in the 50s and won 33, but the record for Division I was 22. And so hopefully we can keep pushing that even further up where it'll be extremely difficult for somebody to break.
Yeah, you mentioned that, one of your key ingredients, obviously, is the players that came with you, right, to start the season. Can you talk a little bit about your philosophy on the transfer portal? It seems like you just have an incredibly mature team with the players that you had those conversations during the off season with, and the experience that they bring to the team is really second to none with how other transfer portals ended up with some programs in the mid majors. So can you talk a little bit about that philosophy and what kind of makes that team gel this year?
Yeah, I mean, I love the transfer portal. I've loved it everywhere I've been. So I'm a big fan of it. I know some coaches aren't. I think it's great. I think, you should be able to go where you want to go. And as long as you're academically eligible and moving towards graduation, have at it. Any normal student can. But, look, we focused on older guys that had put up statistics. Shahada Wells, he only averaged 6.5 at TCU, only averaged, which is tremendous. But before that, he was at UTA in the Sun Belt, which is a better league than the Southland, and averaged 18. So, I knew that, we knew he had put up really good numbers. CJ Felder had put up good numbers at, averaged 4 or 5 at Florida, but it averaged 9 and 9 or so at Boston College. And Tavion Cullum, a kid we had who averaged double digits at Cal Bakersfield, in a good league out west. And so DJ Richards was all freshman team in Conference USA and averaged double digits at UTSA. And so Mike Saunders was at Utah and Cincinnati, averaged 8 points at Cincinnati. Had some injury issues at Utah and didn't play as much, but we were really, and then obviously we got Shumate back. We added some junior college kids, Javon Garcia, Omar Cooper. We thought Cooper could really set the table for everybody. Javon Garcia averaged 10 a game, was on the all-rookie team in the Atlantic 10 and was out in junior college in California. We added a kid, Cam Jones, who, averaged 10 a game at South Carolina State. So we really were trying to focus on guys that had produced and were older. We've got 3 graduate students. We've got a couple other senior, we just got an older group that's mature, that's been through it. And I think that's really, really, really helped. And look, I mean, just like myself, all of them, we're all at McNeese for a reason. They've all had some struggle to get here. They've all had a reason that they're here. And I think that's bonded us and brought us together as much as anything, is that, look, we're all here for a common goal. We're all here and we're all appreciative of the opportunity that we have to be here. And we're appreciative of what, the people in Lake Charles and the people in McNeese have done for us. And let's pay them back as best we can by winning and doing, and playing as hard as we can every night.
Yeah. And you guys are a blast to watch. Now, I've got two questions. So, Sam, slow your roll for a second. First question is, you talked about the transfer portal, okay? And players, you feel like they can transfer freely if they're eligible and what have you. How much has your recruiting philosophy changed over the last couple of years, where maybe you're still recruiting the high school level, the JUCO level, but maybe you're not recruiting as much in the AAU scene in the summer? Kind of talk about that, kind of the recruiting philosophy that's probably ever evolving.
Well, I think the number one thing you need to recruit is your own roster. I mean, the transfer portal is great, but it's very hard to, we're going to have people come after half of our roster after this year. I mean, they're coming after them right now as I speak to you. I got one of the kids came to me and said, "Hey, such and such school offered me this week."
Come on.
I said, "Hey, man, that's pretty good." No, I don't care. That's fine. That's the way it goes. That's all part of it. But my point is that number one recruits you've got are on your roster. I think you've got to be able to have some level of retention with 3 to 4 rotation players every year. If you can retain 3 or 4 of those guys and then add, maybe 1 or 2 junior college kids, a high school kid, and 2 or 3 transfers, you got a chance to have a really, really good team. So focusing on our team next year. And I'm trying to enjoy this year as much as I can, and I'll worry about next year after the year's over. But, there's obviously 4 or 5 guys that we want to make sure come back. If they've got the opportunity to come back, we want to make sure that they come back. Now, it's going to be stiff competition. We're winning, and they're putting up good numbers. And, we're going to have, other schools that see the same thing we see. But, we got first crack at them. They're on our roster. They're with us every day, but we got first crack at them. And so, the number one thing I think with the portal is retaining the kids that you want to retain, and then finding some guys that are good fits for you, good fits for what you do, and maybe have been undervalued at other schools that what they do and what they produce, fits into your system, and that you can get them to a better situation than they would be that if they stayed at their last school. And so, identifying those guys, we use a lot of analytics to try to find that and find the right fits and find the pieces that'll go based on usage rates and some things that we value. And, for whatever reason, sometimes the other school doesn't value those things, and we try to find some market inadequacies there and pounce on those and get some of those guys.
Right. So I consider you a trailblazer in the sense of NIL. Allegedly, you had some issues at LSU, and obviously, if anything did happen, it's all legit now. How important is NIL at McNeese State, being a mid-major program? You just said about kind of the struggles you've had, this university and the community has had. How do you kind of keep kids in the program with NIL?
I mean, look, you got to do it first with your relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, people like being around something that's fun, something that's, they enjoy being there every day. They enjoy the relationship. They enjoy spending time with you and with your staff. And my staff is tremendous. They've all been with me a long time, and great people. And, I always tell the guys, go to the right situation and the money will follow. If you follow the money, you're going to end up in the wrong situation. So, go to the right situation, and you go to the right situation, you produce, the NIL and all that money will follow you. If you go to the wrong situation and you just take all the money, then you're going to end up in a worse situation than you were in. And so, we talk about that. We have frank conversations with them about, hey, here's why we think this is a really good situation for you. And, if you disagree, then have at it, man. It's America. You're free to go wherever you want, and I'll support you.
Right.
And, I'm with you and there for you. And, it cuts both ways. Like I said, we're going to lose kids to the portal. I already got people recruiting them. That's fine. I mean, that's part of the game. I'm with it. But that's just the way it goes. And, I tell the guys all the time, if we've done such a good job with you that they're trying to get you from us out of the portal, then we'll sell your story to the next kid that we're trying to get out of the portal. And that's just the way it works. I look at it no differently here than I did when I was at LSU. I was trying to get kids and get them to the NBA. If I can get kids here and get them to high major, then I'll go get the next kids that want to do the same thing. So there's no, there's no hard feelings. There's no sour grapes on my end. Just, hey, you're moving up. And coaches have been able to do this for years. And now that the players can do it, now everybody's all of a sudden upset about things. I mean, I don't understand it. But now that the players have a little bit of freedom, I mean, hey, more power to them. Go get what you can get. They've got a 4 or 5 year window to earn some money off of this. And, hey, take advantage of it.
Yeah, but Coach, there's some players that are playing in their 8th year of college.
Yeah, that's because of injuries and some things like that. But
Right.
I mean, look, there's some older guys that are out there. I mean, look, if the NCAA doesn't get a hold of this antitrust stuff, I mean, they're gonna be grandkids. You're gonna be able to play till you're done with graduate school here before long.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't get a hold, if they don't get a hold of some of this stuff. But look, that's a topic for another day. You don't want to get me rolling on all that
Right.
stuff. But maybe you do, but I'm not going to. But my point is,
you know what? Maybe after season we'll have you on. We can have a little fire set. We can just let you have your podium.
Oh no, you don't want that. But look, I mean, I think we should all be in this for the players and to do the best we can for the players. And I mean, one of the best compliments I got this year is I had a kid on an opposing team stop me in the handshake line and thank me for advocating for players. That actually made me feel good. And
so Coach, did you say to him, hey, you want to come to McNeese State next year?
No. I know his family pretty well.
Because here's the thing, Coach. We've heard from other coaches, Sam and I've heard, where they're in the hand, and I know you didn't do this, but because you know the person, but they're in the handshake line and they're recruiting kids to their program for the following year.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. We're not doing any of that.
Right? No, I'm not saying.
Shoot, I don't even know. The thing is like I mean, here's the thing, man. You don't even know who's going to be on your roster right now next year. And that's what I've told I've told my team. Like yesterday was 4 weeks till selection Sunday. Guys, let's enjoy every day we've got left together. Like we've got something great going. It's been so much fun. Like we need to just focus on ourselves, enjoy everything. And then at the end of the year, the guys who are leaving will help you get agents and will help you move forward to play professionally. The guys who, have the option to come back or what, we'll sit down and talk and we'll figure out what's best for you. And we'll put you in the best situation we can, whether it's here, there, or elsewhere. It doesn't matter. But for now, let's just enjoy what we got going on, enjoy what we're doing, and not let any of that stuff get in the way of what we got going on right now.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of what you're doing, Coach. And being the transition of being more of a players league is where the transition needed to happen. And, like Luke said, you're a trailblazer in what's going on. And, with your youth and the youth of, Coach Chambers and Coach Hamilton on your staff, you guys, will be kind of under the spotlight of how you guys manage this the next couple of years, because you guys are hopefully be coaching for a long time. And so it's been fun to see you advocate for those players. And I know you can tell by how well the players play for you, and I mean,
you're fun to watch.
Your team is so fun to watch. Yeah. It seems like, and you mentioned earlier, Coach, when you were like, hey, all these guys, they came from maybe bigger programs or whatnot, but they all have something to prove. And I love that, watching that mentality on the court. And so I wanted to, you mentioned something a couple times, in previous press conferences and with the media called, blue collar gold standard. And so are you seeing that? Like, how does that mentality kind of fit in with this blueprint in your team? It seems like everyone's just adapted so well to that mentality.
Well, that's what we talk about. We want to do everything in a hardworking manner, and then we want to do everything to the best standard that we can do it to. I tell our guys all the time, what good looks like. Don't argue with me about what good is. You know what it looks like. You know it when you see it, and that's what I expect every day. And that's really kind of the gold standard for us. And we want to be blue collar. We want to be gritty. We want to be grimy. And that's kind of how our area is. That's how our fans are for the most part. And that's how we want to be. And so I think that's part of the reason that our team has been adopted so much by the fans here and by the people in the area we embody a lot of the characteristics of Southwest Louisiana, of our 5-parish area. We embody a lot of the same characteristics of the great people here. And so I think our guys have really bought into that, and our guys have really done a good job of playing that way for the most part. We hadn't been perfect. We hadn't played that way every game, but most games we have, and we've got to, we just got to continue to hone in on that stuff and continue to fine tune that stuff as we come down the stretch here, because, your identity gets revealed in the pressure moments, and we're going to have some pressure moments as we come down the home stretch.
Yeah. Yeah. So the last question I have for you, Coach, before I'm going to turn it over to Luke for, a quick little back and forth here, is on February 6th, Heath Schroyer announced your contract extension, right? And there's no other mid-major coach that has your level of experience in kind of the Power Fives and whatnot. And I don't want to go there out of respect for what you're doing with McNeese State, but I want to, like, what is it like to have that conversation with your AD mid-season?
Well, I mean, look, that doesn't just come together. We've been talking about it for a while. I mean, look, we did our first deal basically on a handshake at a hotel in Dallas, and he brought the contract to Destin about 2 or 3 weeks later, and we met and signed the thing and kept it moving. So, I mean, look, that's kind of how, look, I'm fiercely loyal, and I'm going to do what I tell you I'm going to do. Those are my 2 best qualities. Yep. And so, Heath is the same way. We kind of have a code that we go by, and he came to me and I said, look, they were much more interested in my salary. I was much more interested in making sure my assistants and my administrative folks and all those people were taken care of. And we got some program enhancements to make sure that our travel was better for our guys, just a lot of different things, make sure we can feed our guys right, which we've been doing. And, there's a lot of stuff that went into it that we wanted to make sure that, we were raising the level of the program, raising the bar for the program. And obviously my stuff's going to get the headlines. There's a lot of other stuff that's really, really important to me that, my assistants, you mentioned Chambers and Vernon. I mean, they're well taken care of, and they did a heck of a job as interim coaches when I was out. I was on my little sabbatical there, but they did a great job, and they got significant salary bumps to where they're probably the 2 highest paid assistants in our league, probably not a close second. And so that all was important to me. I've got some administrative guys. Everybody got salary bumps there, and got some other perks. And so our players, in terms of how we eat, how we travel, different things like that, how we live, we were able to make some real headway with all that. So that part was really important. And as I told our team, I thought the timing was important, because I didn't want to be a distraction, moving forward here. I was really concerned. Actually, one of our biggest games of the year was at Corpus Christi on a Monday night. And I was in my hotel room watching some film and going over some of my late game preparation stuff that I do that day. And DePaul had fired Tony Stubblefield that day. And my special assistant to the head coach, Reed Vial, who played for me at LSU, is just a great guy. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on anything. He runs my Twitter account. He runs all the stuff. And so I don't have a clue what's going on in the world. They all make fun of me about it. But he knocks on my door and says, hey, your name's all over Twitter and blah, blah. And so, I just didn't want to have to address everything with the players every time something happens. And so I thought it was important to kind of get that out there so we could move forward and focus on this and limit our distractions as we come down the stretch.
Hey, Coach, you probably didn't do any research on us. We're both DePaul graduates.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. When Coach
you coming home, Coach? When you coming home?
No, when Coach Stubbs was fired, we did like a 12 or 15 potential coaches, and your name was all over the press that week.
Ohio State, every job.
Ohio State last week and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, out of respect for what you're doing at McNeese State, I don't want to go there because it's
I did not know that. My brother lives in Chicago.
Okay.
We're getting
There we go.
connections, baby. It's happening.
My brother,
Go Demons.
my brother's he's actually a professor at Loyola.
Oh,
nice.
I don't like him.
It's all good, man. Chicago
he teaches the
basketball
class
needs to
over
get
there, and he has runs a consulting
Yeah,
firm there. So yeah, no.
That's awesome. Hey, Coach, I think we're ready for Coach to give him a little quick back and forth. Sam, you want to set it up for me?
For sure. We do a little portion of the podcast called the Shot Clock, where Luke is going to ask you like 6 or 7, just kind of quick fire off 1-2 questions here or there. First thing that comes to your mind. Just let us have it. A word, a phrase.
I'm terrible with this, bro.
Whatever it is, man. It's all good. We still have some coaches who are thinking about answers that we talked to like 4 months ago. So it's all good.
All right, ready, Coach?
We'll have some fun with it.
Yeah, 1 word to describe.
I'm just warning you. I know nothing about pop culture, any of that stuff. If any of this is that sort of thing, I'm not.
This is perfect. This is this is your life in a nutshell. Okay. 1 word to describe Louisiana cuisine.
Tremendous.
Ooh. Bobby Marlin. We had Coach Marlin. He loves. That's why he's never left. 1 word to describe McNeese State.
I put on 15 pounds. I put on 15 pounds since I've come back.
Oh God. Okay. 1. You might want to go talk to your strength and conditioning coach. 1 word to describe McNeese State.
Family.
Okay. 1 word to describe the Southland Conference.
Tough.
Last 1 word question. I'm going to go to some others. 1 word to describe Shaka Smart.
I was going to say fiercely intelligent, but intelligent.
Yeah, that's 2 words, Coach. All right.
I know, fiercely intelligent, but that's what I said. I was going to say
put a hyphen in there. It's 1 word.
I'm going to use. I said, 1 word is intelligent. I know I didn't go to DePaul. I went to Clemson, so I got I got intelligent.
I was hoping you weren't going to say hair. It's so weird because I knew him when he was at Akron and he was bald. Now he's got like a full head of hair.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen him with hair until turn on the TV now.
Yeah. That's what Coach Morrell said even too. We've had him on the podcast.
Mikey Mo, he's the best.
Yeah,
he's incredible.
He I think we're going to get him and a couple others on a fireside chat because he's like, do not get me started about. Yeah, he said, don't get me started on some of this crap like NIL, transfer portal, NIT. It was like the week of the NIT coming out about if you win your conference, you don't get in, an automatic bid. And man, he was like, you could tell he just wanted to just unleash the beast.
Mike's got some opinions now. We had, I tell you what, when we were all we had a just unbelievable staff, unbelievable camaraderie, really, really good folks. I mean, there's some funny stories we had all together.
Yeah. All right. Toughest recruit you ever signed. Toughest recruit to get, I get that you signed.
Trendon Watford.
Ooh. He was a ball player. Who was your favorite player in college team growing up?
My favorite college team was actually Vanderbilt. We had season tickets and went to a ton of Vanderbilt games, and I loved Billy McCaffrey.
Oh,
yeah,
Billy McCaffrey.
He was on their 93 Sweet 16 team.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny to think Vanderbilt, and no offense to Vanderbilt, that they were, they used to be really, really good for a little bit of time.
Oh, that was in their heyday. That was when Eddie Fogler was coaching them.
Yep.
They were when I was growing up, they were really, really good. You couldn't get a seat in Memorial Gym. It's sad now. Cool.
Hey, that's just like DePaul. You can't get a seat in the gym.
Yeah.
All right. Funniest thing an opposing fan has ever said to you while you're coaching.
Oh goodness, there's so many. I don't know if this was to me, but I had the kid Cam Thomas, and who's with the Brooklyn Nets now, and he played about 38 minutes a game. And we were at Mississippi State during the COVID year, so you could hear just everything. And I subbed Cam out, and the manager like reached over. I was standing right there talking to him and reached over, gave him a water bottle, and some fan yelled, "Don't give him the water bottle. He's going to shoot that too."
Man, shout out to Cam Thomas, man. He's putting up some points this year. 21 points.
Oh, he's been incredible. Yeah, it's been incredible for Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He's a wired scorer. He's an assassin.
Yeah.
If you weren't a college coach, what would you be doing?
Be probably a high school history teacher.
Oh, nice. I like that. What's the one recruit that got away?
Oh, well, there's so many of them. Golly, that's a good question. It's funny. You look back on it and you think every one of them, when you lose them, they're critical, but you find out that, life moves on and there's a reason for it. And people, it happens for a reason, and you end up with somebody who's maybe just as good or a little bit better, or not quite as good, but also wasn't as much of a headache. And so there were so many. I know people don't think we lose many recruiting battles, but we lost a ton of them.
Right.
And so I can't
Pinpoint. Yeah, that's all right.
I can't pinpoint one or two, but there's been quite a few that when you lose them, it's heartbreak. I tell people this all the time. There's no silver medals in recruiting. You either get them or you don't. You get no
Coach,
points for effort.
I tell that to my wife and kids. There's no silver medals in life.
Exactly right. And so that's what makes it. That's what makes it really, 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 really tough. I'd say if I had to give you one, there's a kid, Stan Robinson, who went to Rhode Island, and I thought we were going to get him at VCU, and I was down for a while after that one. And he ended up being a hell of a player on Hurley's Rhode Island teams that went to the tournament. And yeah, that wouldn't hurt, because a lot of times when you lose a kid, you don't lose them to somebody in your conference. Like, we've lost kids and you lose a kid to the kid, out west or somewhere like that. Like, that hurts, but when you lose somebody in your conference, that's tough.
Yeah. All right, couple more questions. Toughest
I would say
environment.
him, and then I'll give you another good one. I'd say him, and we lost a kid, Devontae Kaycock, when I was at Chattanooga. We lost him to UNC Wilmington. He ended up playing for the LA Lakers a little bit. He turned into, we knew he was going to be a great player. He played for the Atlanta All-Stars. He was from Atlanta. We wanted him so bad. He'd have been a monster in the SoCon. And he ended up having a great career at UNC Wilmington.
Yeah. All right, is that it, Coach? No more players, because you've named me two.
Sounds like you lost a lot of guys, Coach.
I got like 10. I could keep going, but I'll just stick with
All right, let's go to another question. Couple more questions. Toughest environment or arena to coach in?
Not even close. Auburn.
White barbecue sauce at Auburn. Moe's original barbecue.
Yeah, but Auburn is, when that place is rocking, the jungle, it is, there's nowhere like it.
Yeah. The game you will always remember.
Probably when I was at LSU and we tipped it in at Rupp Arena to win. That was pretty memorable. That one, and my first year at LSU when we beat Michigan at Maui. Those two were as memorable as they come.
Okay. The funniest player or coach on your team?
Oh, DJ Richards.
Okay. Who would you say is the best singer or rapper between your coaches and players?
Oh gosh. I don't even know. I'm going to go with Mike Saunders.
Okay. And then who would you say is the best dancer?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm going to say I'm gonna say DJ Richards again.
You know, it's funny,
He's got-
Sam.
He's got an unbelievable personality.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So Sam, he talked about how, you know, he loves his coaches and he got their salaries paid up, but he didn't say one of them for funniest or best of anything.
Hey, he's giving.
They're good. They're good on the court. They're best at player development and spending time with them. They're good on the court.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Last question, last question, Coach. And this might take you a couple of minutes. Coach Kaufman from Purdue Fort Wayne has not gotten back to us on this one. What is the song that best describes you, or your anthem, your walkout song?
Oh gosh, I have no clue. I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen to any music, so I don't know.
You listen to no music. You know.
No.
I know
I
someone
talk on
that
the phone when I'm in the car.
It's all good. We got Shahada on the pod. We're gonna interview him in about 30 minutes, and we're gonna ask him the same question.
Not even a Taylor Swift song. He could have just given us a T Swift song.
It's all good.
Yeah, I don't even know any of those. My wife and daughter get mad at me about that, but there's some song that they play when I walk out here at McNeese. I don't know exactly what it is. It's some Johnny Cash song, some country song or Western song or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but I guess that would be it. But I don't know. You won
nothing, you got nothing, and you pretty much are just going to look yourself in the mirror and ask you what just happened the last 5 to 10 minutes of your life. So thank you for answering those questions.
You got it. That wasn't too bad.
No, not bad at all. Not bad at all. So, Coach, we're just going to kind of turn it over to you. If there's give you the platform, if there's anything you want to share to the Cowboy faithful or those in Lake Charles or anyone else kind of following you around the country. You know, anything you're looking forward to the rest of this season. You know, you got a couple more regular season games. Yeah, just kind of turn it over to you here for a minute.
No, I mean, look, we're appreciative of everybody's support, and we just want to finish this thing off strong. We've talked about, you know, nobody goes to the movie for the beginning or the middle. They go for the ending. So the endings are usually the most memorable, and we want to make this last month the most memorable that we can make it for our players and for our fans and for our area. And so we're excited about doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Sam, a lot of deals have been made in Dallas hotels, baby.
That's what I'm hearing. But yeah, no, congrats on everything you've accomplished this year, Coach Wade. It's you know, Luke and I watch just as much college basketball as any other fan out there. And
I don't know, Sam, my wife's pretty pissed off at me right now.
That's what I hear. I hear you're watching more than you've ever watched this year, and it's just bananas out there what's happening in college basketball. But Coach, you've turned us into Cowboy fans, and so it's just it's so awesome to watch a team like you've put together just play as hard and like with each other, right? So we're going to be following you the rest of the season. Wish you the best of luck.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Go Pokes.
Yeah, go Pokes, and we look forward to having you on, and maybe we can get you on a fireside uncensored chat with Coach Mo.
You guys get that set up. You tell him if he's in, I'm in.
All right.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
Coach. Best of luck, boss.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. All right, Sam, we had Coach Wade. We're done with him. Now we got the horse. Now we got the stud. Now we got the player. Sam, who we got on the podcast?
Yeah, Mr. Shahada Wells. Welcome to the Full Court Press podcast, Shahada.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Yep. Sorry, that's the 19th take we just did. So you are the only player, which I already asked you. So we're gonna repeat the answer for me, boss. You're the only player that's any good that wears number 13 that I know
of. The number came from the street I grew up on. It was 1300. So we just took the 13 out of it, and all my family wears it. So I guess it's a lucky number for us.
Yeah. In Amarillo, Texas, Sammy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Amarillo, Texas.
Well, welcome, Shahada, man. It's you know, we just got done talking to Coach Wade, and man, it's what he's done to that program, you know, with, you know, your contributions and the rest of your teammates, man. You've turned a lot of college basketball fans in the country Cowboy fans this year, man. So, I mean, you guys are incredibly athletic and you guys play hard. It seems like you guys all have something to play for, right? Especially where you guys are transferring from and everything like that. Talk a little bit about your team makeup this year and your teammates. I mean, did you expect you guys just to gel so quickly and be so successful?
To be honest, I don't think none of us expected it. When we first got here in the summer, we just all had the same mindset. We knew what Coach Wade had set out for us. We knew who he was. We knew he was a winner. And some of us came from losing situations. So we tried something new and it worked. Just listening to Coach Wade, our first couple games, he was out, of course, due to the fact that what happened. But I just felt like his plan, his goals that he had for us, they were bigger than what we had. So I guess just following his plan just helped us out in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that conversation like when you entered the portal from TCU? You know, I mean, were there other programs that you were looking at, and like what ended up allowing you to choose McNeese State?
It was a lot of programs looking at me. My first one, let me see, was New Mexico State. Then Coach Wade called me. UNT, Clemson, Oklahoma. It was a lot of big schools, but I mean, I felt more comfortable with Coach Wade. He would call me every day. The thing that got me with Coach Wade was he didn't have his assistants doing it. He was doing it firsthand. He was the one calling. He was the one sending me text messages, sending me articles just on basketball stuff, not even talking about recruiting. It was just life stuff. He was just sending me stuff like that. And I just felt we had a real good connection.
Yeah, one of the things I got from the interview that we just got done with Coach Wade was he loves you guys, man. Like
Yes,
he
sir.
loves his players, and like he's community first, family first, like, you know, like what he has going on in Lake Charles, Louisiana, with, you know, the whole town just coming out to support you guys. Like I already said, it's been fun to watch, and you guys have put a spotlight in Lake Charles with the whole country.
Yes, sir. We're glad to do so.
Mhm.
So you are leading the team in points per game, assists per game, steals per game. Your team is really efficient. You're top 40 for points per game. You're top 10 for field goal percentage. Is that something just kind of like you guys are just always looking for the open shot? Like how have you guys gelled so well together?
Like Coach Wade always says, man, just know your role, perfect your role. So whatever it is, if it's shooting, shoot the ball. If it's passing, pass it. Whatever it is, I have different roles on this team. I could pass the ball, I could score the ball, but I just feel like everybody has perfected their craft. We're still not done yet. We still got ways to go and things to improve in. So I just feel like all of us just have not perfected, but we're improving on what we do best.
Sam, you hear that? Know your role, Sam.
I know I gotta pick my lane sometimes on this podcast. LT kicks me in the back of the head. So
So did you see in the almanac they rated him, Shadia, in the league as the best pro prospect and the player who scares you most?
really?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's impressive. That's really impressive.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, so you started off JUCO, you're a first team All-American. Then you went to UT Arlington, did really well there. You're all Sun Belt Conference second team. I think you're averaging like almost 17 a game. Then you went to TCU. How difficult was it for you to go from maybe the main guy at UTA and even JUCO to TCU, now back to kind of being the main guy?
Uh, it was real difficult for me. Not gonna lie, the first year I got hurt at TCU, I kind of didn't want to play anymore. Like it was just like it took a toll on me. I talked to my family. They kept me uplifted. I just want to thank my family and tell them thank y'all for just having me uplifted at all times, being hurt, being out, not being able to help my teammates. And the question you asked, just not being able to be the man, I just felt like sometimes in life you have to do that. Sometimes you got to take a step back just to see what it looks like, just to like I was looking at Mike, looking at Damian Ball, just looking at those guys be the man, and it just kind of put a toll on me. But I did everything to help my team win. From being on the bench, from getting less minutes, I just did everything to help us win.
Mm-hmm. So as you've stepped into that leadership role at McNeese, you know, give some shout outs, give some props to some of your teammates. I mean, is there anybody who's really kind of surprised you this year, or like that you just like love playing with and who you're clicking with as an individual?
To be honest, all my teammates, man, from DJ to Burrs to CJ, Cullum, Shoemate, Omar, Mike, who else? DT, West, Tijon, all my teammates. All of them have shown me improvement. All of them have shown me what they can do. And I'm really surprised at the record we have now. Not so much surprised, but just I'm excited for it just because we knew we could do it, and we just had to put our minds to it and believe in each other, just like Coach Wade believes in us.
Yeah. Sam brought up a good point, and it's funny because Coach gave your SID Matt a shout out, which was nice. I guess in Coach Wade's introductory press conference, Sam was saying that he predicted that they would win 23 games, and I think last year they were 11-23. So,
Yes,
like he probably preached that to you guys too. Did you think he was half crazy?
To be honest, no. I felt we were gonna win. It just was a feeling I had. Like we're doing the right things. We're practicing right. We're preparing for games right. We're eating right. So I felt like our preparation for everything just had led on to this.
So you talk a lot about that preparation, and Coach Wade preached that as well. When I look at your roster, like I see that you guys have so much maturity and experience, right? You guys have a lot of guys who came from big programs, a lot of guys who are leveraging the transfer portal to be the best player they can possibly be.
Yes,
But like the maturity that you guys are showing on the court, do you think that that's age related? Because I mean, you've been in so many different situations, from like JUCO right out of high school to like a bigger program like TCU, and now you're with like a bunch of veterans, and you guys are playing lights out, winning games, playing together, right? And that's
Yes,
one
sir.
of my favorite things to watch you guys play. Do you think maturity has something to do with those wins?
I honestly do. Sometimes not being an old team, but some of us are young. Some of us think winning comes with being comfortable. And sometimes us older guys know that you can never get comfortable with winning. So we have to always stay locked in and practice, even off the court. Just do the right things off the court and don't ever get too comfortable, and just be on edge about everything. Cause like they say, we're the top team in this league. Everybody's coming after us.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually knew Coach Dixon's sister real well.
Okay.
We're both
Yes,
DePaul guys, graduates. I actually coached there, and unfortunately, Maggie, his sister, passed away, and she
Yes,
was
sir.
a wonderful woman. Got to know her personally and stuff. We were there at the same time. What kind of differences does Coach Dixon and Coach Wade have?
For me
Like,
and
is
Coach
one
Wade,
more a yeller? What is one more a yeller? Is one more positive? I mean, do you notice a lot of some similarities or just a lot of differences?
I noticed some similarities. They both want to win through the wins and all. Like you may think like just because we won, Coach Wade's not gonna be mad or he's not gonna have anything to say. But even when we win, it's always something to say. It's all, like I said, it's always room for improvement. So he always has to go back and find something that we messed up on or that we need to improve, even though we won. But similarities, I would say maybe the yelling. Both of them yell a lot. And the difference is for me would be just the relationship part. Me and Coach Dixon, we had a good relationship, but not like how me and Coach Wade have. Like he talks to me, like I told you guys, he talks to me every day. He gives me pointers on what to tell the team and how to lead the team and just things in that matter. Me and Coach Dixon really didn't have that type of relationship.
So LT, what do you think? Should we put him on the shot clock?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we should. All right. So it's quick and painless. Coach Wade took about 45 minutes, but that's okay. It's supposed to be like one or two answers. He kept dwelling. I asked him who was like the one recruit that got away, and he said, I didn't know anybody. And then he named one. And then I tried to go to the next question. He named another one. So I think you'll be okay because you're a youngin compared to.
Yeah. So LT is just going to fire off some quick and easy questions. First thing that comes to your mind, just let it loose, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Favorite college arena or atmosphere to play in, not McNeese State?
I would say Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah.
We've heard that more times than not, right, Sam?
Yeah.
All right. One word to describe McNeese State.
Amazing.
Ooh. Biggest difference between the Southland Conference or the Sun Belt and the Big 12? Don't say women.
Competition.
Okay. Toughest opponent you ever had to guard?
LJ.
LJ Cryer.
Yes, sir.
He's pretty good. Most memorable game. What's the one
Kansas.
game? Kansas? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Why?
It was just a big game for me. I was the leading scorer on our team, and we won. We beat the number one team that day. It was one of the biggest losses they had at home.
At home, I remember that. Yeah.
We're both KU. We grew up both KU fans.
I grew up
Sam's
right
from
outside
Kansas
Kansas, so right outside Lawrence, Kansas. So it's all good, man.
Sam, why'd we interview this guy?
Yeah,
all right. Favorite college class?
Ooh, good one.
Favorite college class? Let me see.
The one that you don't sleep in. Let's hear it.
One that I don't sleep in. No, I'm kidding. I would say my communications classes.
Masters in communications, baby. You're gonna
Yes,
go
sir.
far with a lot of bullshit in life. All right. Favorite item in the cafeteria?
Chicken.
Chicken. Okay. What is your nickname?
Hottie.
Okay.
Got it.
What is your nickname that you hate that someone has given you over the years?
My aunt calls me Puka.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. I don't know.
Everybody always has that nickname that you just never want to be called. So
Yeah, and it's usually from an extended family member. So.
yeah, or an older sister.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite superhero?
Black Panther.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Funniest teammate?
DJ.
All right. Best dancer of your teammates?
Me.
There we go.
Excuse me,
Love
up in
it.
the club. Best rapper on the team?
Best rapper. His own songs or just
Doesn't matter.
Anybody.
anybody.
Anybody who's just
Tijon Brown.
okay.
Ooh.
Does he have his own songs?
No, but he
Okay.
raps all the time.
All right.
All right. What about coaches? Who's the funniest coach?
Funniest coach. I would say Vern.
Yeah, Vern. I love
Coach
Vern.
Hamilton.
I converse with him on Instagram. Who's the best dancer of the coaches?
Vern again.
Vern, man, he's Mr. Smooth. All right. Who would you say is the best singer of the coaches?
Singer.
I know it's not Coach Wade because he doesn't like music, according to him.
I never heard none of them sing, but my guess would be Vern.
All right, there you go.
All right. Okay. So what would you say the song that best describe you? What's your like walkout song or your anthem?
I would say Little Baby Freestyle.
Ooh, nice. Okay. What would you say, Coach Wade, since he didn't answer? Sam says we're going to ask you this. What would you say Coach Wade's anthem is or walkout song?
If you were in the DJ booth and if Coach Wade walked into the arena, what song would you play for him?
Oh man.
And it can't be a Taylor Swift song.
Godly. I don't.
Come on, just give us something.
Gangster Paradise.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, Coach Wade. Coach Wade couldn't think of his question. Couldn't think of his own answer because it's. He said he's just always on the phone when you guys are listening to music and stuff. So we said we'd pass that on to.
That's Sam. That's a great man. That took me back to college. You just aged me, bro. I mean, Gangster Paradise with Michelle Pfeiffer and Coolio.
Yeah. You're going to have to do you're going to have to do a nice little Instagram reel with Coach Wade highlights with Coolio in the background.
Yes.
No,
awesome.
It's all good.
Nothing, you got nothing, but you got an A in that course right there.
Well, Shahada, we appreciate you having coming on the pod, man. And we're going to kind of turn the platform over to you for a minute. If you want to share anything to the Cowboy faithful, those in Lake Charles, anything you guys are looking to finish the season off, anything like that, man, it's all yours.
Yes, sir. I just want to thank all our support, all our fans all over from Lake Charles to wherever you are. I just want to thank you guys. We appreciate you guys so much for just supporting us, putting us first, and we just want to say thank you, guys.
Yeah. And are you guys going to win the Southland and go dancing?
Yes, we are gonna go dancing this year.
Go
Well, you and your teammates and coaches have turned us into big fans of yours, man.
Yeah.
You already mentioned, I grew up right outside Lawrence, Kansas, went to a lot of games in Allen Fieldhouse and know the atmosphere. And for a kid who grew up KU fan, man, I'm a huge fan of what you guys are doing, man. You guys
Yes,
are
sir.
playing the
Thank you,
game the
guys.
right way. You guys are playing for each other, and it seems like you guys are on a mission, man. So we'll be following, we'll be cheering for you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I still amazed how Shahada Wells is as good as he is, and he wears number 13.
Yeah. What did
Amarillo,
you?
Texas's finest.
Yeah, man. That's a good dude right there, man.
Yeah. Didn't you say he was like 32?
Nah, he's 24 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, he's almost as old as Coach Wade.
I wanted to actually look up what other coaches are, within that, 17, 18 year age difference that those two are in.
Yeah.
We're just seeing some wild ages, happening right now with the different protocols. And then you had COVID and you have injuries and stuff. I think we're at the end of the COVID kind of era.
Yeah. I mean, there's gonna be no more COVID year, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, he's 24. We asked him about the maturity of the team and whatnot, and he handled that very well.
He's a good dude.
Dude, really good dude.
And I love the song because I mean, like, come on, Coach Wade. He's like, I don't listen to music. I'm like, then he says he's got a wife and daughter. And I mean, you're going to be driving your kid around, and the kid's probably, and I don't know how old she is. She's probably like, well, let's see, if he's 41, she's got to be like 8, 10.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm 47. I got a 14-year-old. So yeah, so it's like, he could have a 14-year-old. He could have like a 16-year-old, but here nor there. But the funny thing is, when we asked Mr. Wells, he's like, had to think a little bit. Gangster Paradise by Coolio.
That's a great song, man.
Oh, Money in the Power, Power in the Money.
The money.
Minute after
minute after minute, hour after
hour.
You would take that as the biggest compliment if like one of your players was like, "This is the song that describes my coach."
Yes.
You'd be like that. Yeah,
I think
you'd
he
be like,
liked it
"Damn
when I
right."
told him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
great.
No, I still think you need to do a little Instagram Reels mashup with Gangsters Paradise and put it on our
And him.
Instagram page.
Yeah, I got to get some video of Coach, and that'd be awesome. But it's funny, like, I tell these guys, the SID, who Matthew again. I mean, you'd think he was like our favorite SID now, but I mean, we actually did see, but we see a couple of them before the podcast and stuff, and they're all good people.
Yeah.
And they do. I don't think people understand how much SIDs do from stats to interviews to just day-to-day stuff. And I mean, it's like, and a lot of them do other programs too, like it's not just men's basketball. Like
they usually have
Jamie
like 3 or 4 programs.
yeah, like Jamie at Youngstown State does men's basketball and volleyball. Still hasn't scheduled us with Y State, but we'll get the Penguins on here. But the interesting thing is, he is probably the hottest coaching name right now. And after talking to him it was supposed to be 20, 25 minutes, turned into like 40. And it could have been like, we got him going on some things. He's like, you don't want to hear me, but I'm going to tell you, we're going to do a fireside chat in the summer with a couple coaches at a time. And we're going to be like, I'm going to say to each of them, you each have to bring a topic and you just have to say the word and we're going to talk about it. And,
I want to do a fireside chat with like the Shaka Smart coaching tree. Cause
we had Coach Morrell.
Yeah.
I know Coach Rhodes. I don't know if he's part of the tree, but he's the Penn State coach. He agreed to be on the podcast. Or
yeah.
at least
Now we got like Coach Wade and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like that's a really good coaching tree. That they all kind of know each other. They all went from like VCU. Some of the guys went to Texas.
Another one we could do is Coach Dambrot.
That'd be a good one.
You got Lamont Paris, who's at USC. You got Shaka Smart from Marquette. You got Drew Joyce, who's the associate head coach and will be a head coach one day.
Yep.
I know I'm missing maybe Jeff Bowles at OU, I think, coached under a little bit. But I mean, there's a ton of them. But what he's doing at McNeese State, I mean, part of me is like, I hope he stays, because I think is just brings the profile up of a lot of these mid-majors, and you're seeing a lot of mid-majors coaches stay a lot longer than they might have, years past. So do you think he's gone?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to put myself like in his shoes. I mean, he's already experienced a lot, like with what he went through at LSU and
But
everything.
he just agreed to be the DePaul head coach.
No, he didn't. God.
Dude, I think he shot himself when we said we're both DePaul graduates.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's I like that the word's getting out about the DePaul job. We talk a little bit about that on a podcast that we were guests on, actually.
Yep.
But will Wade stay at McNeese State?
Say that 5 times fast.
I know that was hard. I don't know. Like, I really don't. Like, he talked about like loyalty and things like that. He's got a great relationship with the AD Heath Schroyer. What he's doing there is incredible. Like, he's engulfed himself and his family, like, in the community there. I think everybody wants to see him stay, but you don't know until you start talking after the season, or towards the end of the season, and see what kind of offers are out there. I don't think he belongs at like a step up, from McNeese State.
Which is what, like the Sun Belt or
no,
like
I mean,
American
even like
Conference
a like subpar like Power 6 job, like I think like
Vanderbilt.
yeah, like I think that he's better. Like, he's already won the regular season SEC, right? Like,
Didn't he make it to the Sweet 16?
yeah, I mean, that's my point, is like, he's already kind of proven himself at that top level, where it's, you want to see him like either stay at McNeese State or go to like one of the top 4 or 5 programs in the country when the job opens up.
Yep, like DePaul.
No, not like DePaul.
But did you like how I said he was allegedly?
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah. I'm not gonna go there, man. It's like,
I mean, it's all legal now. It's all legal.
I mean, there's some guidelines put around it, but yeah, I mean, he's a guy. It's like, if you want good players, like, he will go after them. I mean, he wants to win, like
Tenacious.
you said. I mean, he's a winner, and when I was thinking about it as McNeese State, with how good Will Wade is, and then the coaching staff he has under him, like his assistants, Brandon Chambers, Vernon Hamilton, who have come with him from LSU to McNeese State, like, and Will
Vernon
Wade
Hamilton, what up, dog?
Yeah, like, Will Wade gave those guys mad props for just how good they are.
And we're gonna have Vernon on the when we start our full court press legends. We're gonna have him. He was a ball player.
I would love that. I would love that. But it's like, you look at like what the potential is at McNeese State. Like, you kind of go, okay, like, do you chase the money in the off season, or do you build a legacy, right? And it's like, I think that he has the opportunity to do something at McNeese State over the next however many years. Maybe it's 20, maybe it's 30 years. Similar to like how Coach K built Duke, right? And he is this next generation of somebody who, if he sticks at a program for a long time, like, I think he could go down as like one of the best coaches over the next several decades.
Yeah, you're pretty strong about that opinion.
He's good, man. He went. I mean, it's numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
like, I mean, wins don't lie. Yeah, you're gonna lose a game here and there and stuff like that, but it's
you're gonna lose a game. The season's over.
Yeah, the guys won at every level, and like, you allow him, and you and I talked about this. He's really only been a head coach at the programs he's been at for a couple years at a time, right?
I think it was 2 years. Yeah, except for LSU, I think he was 5.
Yeah, and he would still be at LSU, I believe. But like, you allow him to build a program over a certain amount of time, they're winning championships. Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I'd agree. And then Shahada Wells, I mean, he's a ball player. I'm excited to see what he's going to do the rest of the season. I'm really excited to see the Southland Conference. I think that's going to be interesting. And there's a couple conferences, which is kind of neat, that finish like not the weekend right before March Madness, like the selection. So it's the weekend before. So it's kind of like the 8th, like I think it's the 8th and 9th, or like the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, or 6th, 7th, whatever it is. I think Southland's one. There's a couple others I saw, which I think's awesome because now they're going to get a little spotlight. And I mean, I'm going to watch that because, and also it helps us with our Selection Sunday show too, because we'll have some, we'll know who's made the tournament.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's good, man. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review, right? We forgot to take them in the beginning. I mean, I did forget to
pass the
record.
rock, man. That was a fun episode, man. It's both those guys we spoke to are, and first class all the way.
And also thanks for reminding me to press record with the Shahada Wells thing.
Like, we're like 30 seconds into it, and I had to text you, and I was like, I don't think you hit record, dog.
No, because you hear it when it presses it, right?
Yeah, we can see it on the screen. We have to click off of it. It's like, oh, you're now recording. So,
well, you know what? At least I didn't do that with like Coach K or someone like that.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. Another fun podcast. Like I said on the pod, I'm a big Cowboy fan, McNeese State fan. Like what those guys are doing there. It's if any of our listeners have not watched their game, you want to see some good college basketball. Watch McNeese State play this year.
Absolutely. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Pass the rock.
Pass the rock, baby.
We'll be back. Yeah. We'll be back. Who knows? It might be back in 2 days. We might be back in a week. You just never know. I think
we got a good lineup this week and next week. So
well, I'm all by myself.
Follow the Full Court Press Podcast Instagram page, and we'll keep you updated on what's coming up. But we got some good stuff.
We're probably gonna have two more episodes this week, and then next week we might have 17. So
yeah, we got a busy weekend next weekend.
Yeah, so I'm coming to visit you.
I can't wait, baby.
Little Mountain West conference, baby, in person. Do some photos. I gotta get skinnier for you. But that's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have some fun. And all right, guys, thanks so much. And don't forget to listen to the Full Court Press podcast.
College basketball experience. Let's get it, LT. Peace. Deuces.